Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine, the Money Coach, and today I will be showing you exactly how to do your budget week to week. Now, this is the way that I started when I first started budgeting. Sometimes you gotta tiptoe in it to figure it out, right? And that is okay, whatever works for you. So I'm gonna show you the Excel sheet that I created just for week to week or paycheck to paycheck individuals who really need to baby step it through. So let's go. All right, so I had to go and get comfortable. And if you wear glasses, put those babies on, okay? I don't wear glasses anymore, but these are my glasses for the screen. I won't put them on right now. You want to be in a relaxed place. It's so important for me to set the correct energy and vibes for budgeting. To remember your why and plan accordingly for you and your family's hopes and dreams. If you like to like other things, now is not the time. You need to be fully present, okay? Instead of putting on these glasses, like you end up putting on like shades or something. No, okay? All right, so let's open our laptop. Bow. Let me first show you how to download the free Excel sheet that you can just plug everything in and it automatically populates for you. So we're going to go to squareoneaccounting.com. That's my accounting practice. The resources at the top. And this here is where I have all of my free financial resources. You can come back and check that out later. But we're going to download the Excel weekly budget sheet, which is our weekly paycheck to paycheck Excel worksheet. Once you open it, the very first thing that you're going to see is the variable and fixed expenses. And I have already entered in basically a number of categories that's very popular. So our example today, I'll be doing a budget per se for a married couple with one child. The child is 7 years old, so maybe going to the second grade. Both parents make the same amount. So of course you use your numbers, so both parents will make the same amount, $2,500 each after taxes. Now that we know the setup and who I am preparing this budget for, this weekly budget for, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these columns, the amount, the due date, and all of that, and I'll be right back. I am back. Everything is filled out. Let's take a look. So here I added some filters, and you can do that by selecting the row and going up here to filter right here, and you add filters. You can either take them off or add them. What it's good for is like sorting, like putting everything in order on what you want to see up top here, or you can sort by here, A to Z, which I like because it goes in alphabetical order, and you'll see why. I'll show you on the next tab. So I have the due dates in here, things that are weekly or don't really have a specific due date. I just left it blank. Then I put in my fixed and variable. That is optional if that's something that you want to track. Also put in the amount here. And if it's something that's variable, I just put in the estimated amount. Now, when it comes to budgeting, you want to always overestimate when it comes to your expenses and underestimate when it comes to your income. And the reason being, let's say normally, or you estimate that your light bill will be $135 and some change. But what if it's more than that, right? You want to be able to have, more available, sit more aside for that. So not something way over the top, like $200 or $300 when it's normally $135, but something like maybe $10 over. And then your income, just underestimate that. It's just a good practice to have, and they'll always give you a little wiggle room. Wiggle. A little wiggle room in the case that a bill may go over a little bit. Okay, so just to take a quick look at some of the categories and expenses that we have here for this Married couple, they're both working with a child, okay? And what's very, very important that I put in here is the wife spending and also husband spending. So we all need money for our own personal spending, right? We want to go out with the fellas, or we want to go have brunch, right? So we have to allow spending for that. So we put that in the budget, okay? So I'm going to now go over to how we can put that into the budget. Let's first take a look at the weekly sheet while it's blank before you see it all filled in. And I'll explain what week 1, it basically means the first week in the month. Paycheck, this is where you list out whose paycheck it is in the case that it's a husband and wife, or your spouse or your partner or whatnot. It goes here. So you can just put like, you know, husband, wife, income, whatever you would like to put there to make it custom to you, it's perfect. Both get paid on the first. We're just going to make it real simple just for example purposes. $12.50, $12.50 is what we expect to get. And because we already know exactly how much we're going to get paid, you know, it's the same amount, whatever. We just put the $12.50 in there like that. So let's say you also had some money left over from the previous month. This is where you'll put it here. You see where it says leftover? So let's just say you had $300 left over from, what is this month? So from June. You can either add it here, so you can use it in this month for this week, or you can even use it for saving or investing. So you say, so that is something that you determine by saying, hey, if I have money left over, what is it that I want to do with it? Do I want to use it for next month? Do I want to save it? Do I want to invest it? Always, those are only 3 options that I like to use. But of course, it's your decision to do with your money to get you to your goals. Whatever your goals are, just make sure that you are budgeting accordingly. All right, so one cool thing that I want to show you is that this Excel sheet have drop-down menu. So you see this button right here? You can just select that, and it's in alphabetical order. It's actually pulling from the expense list. Okay, so let's see this expense list real quick. So the expense list, so it's starting from mortgage. So that's what it's listed at now. So if I go here, put it to filter, and I filter this from A to Z, it puts it in alphabetical order. So we go here to weekly, and it's here in alphabetical order. And I'll put in car note. Now go over to how we can put that into the budget, which I've already pre-filled. So let's just take a look. This couple, they're married and they will be getting paid twice a month. So of course you just go according to how you're paid, but I'm just going to show you exactly how to fill this out. So here at the top, you want to start with week 1. So before the month gets started, this is how you begin to plan how you're going to spend your money. It's so beneficial. It really gives you a view of what your month is going to look like, what it's going to look like. It allows you to make plans, to be intentional with your spending. And believe it or not, the more planning you do, and that's being intentional with your income and with your money and your spending, that most times you end up spending less, having more money available for saving and investing, and getting to the goals that you actually want to do. You end up doing things that you actually want to do, right? We want to do things that bring us joy, that we enjoy doing, and not just saying yes to everything. So this makes us think about it. Think twice before saying yes. Okay, so the husband gets paid on the 1st, the wife gets paid on the 6th. And just for simple numbers, I just have them both getting paid the same amount every month, which is $2,500. So I just split that in half, so it's $1,250 for each. Okay, so we put in the date here, then we put in the actual amount. This right here, this column, the expected column, this is how you plan. This is your expected. What are you expected to make? What are you expecting your mortgage and things like that to be? This also can be optional. You can just go straight to actual and just do that. So I know some people like to be a little bit more strategic and I'll use both columns, but it is optional. But as long as you're planning, you're on the right track, okay? So just remember, there's no wrong or right way really to use this. It's just to use it and use it according to how it works best for you, okay? So don't get overwhelmed or feel like I can't do this because I'm not doing exactly how she said it. If you're planning, you're making your bills, you're saving, great job. Okay, so I put in here mortgage $1,200 power, and because of our due dates, you'll go here and plan out, okay, so I know I don't get paid until the 15th, so everything before the 15th, even if it is on the 15th, I'll go ahead and pay that now, okay? So the mortgage due on the 1st, I believe the power is due on the 7th, and the water was due, let's see, when is the water due? The water is due on the 4th. So you just go and check this. Now the great thing about this, once you complete all of this one time, it is super easy to just right click and make a copy of this entire sheet. You do not have to complete this like this every single time. It's that first time sitting down and completing this, and then month by month, it just gets easier and easier for you to just come in here and change your numbers. We have mortgage, power, water, trash, all of these things here. Now the thing with them that's happening every single month, they do have to have gas for the car. They are paying themselves first. They're saving $200. What else? Dining out. I love that dining out is included. So this is a family of 3. Their budget is $100 for the week for dining out. You know, you never know, the mother may be working late, and 2 nights a week they plan to dine out. What's your favorite restaurant? Chick-fil-A? I know my daughter would love to say Chick-fil-A every single night. It's not happening. But it's planned in here that we're gonna do it. Groceries, those type of things. So every week, so here we are now in week 2. And the good thing about this, so we have, here's the income. Here are the expenses coming out. This right here, the $22.73, these are the total expenses for this week, leaving us $227. Now, it will not allow me to select this gray area, and this is so you do not mess up the formula that it's calculating all of this in here for you. In the event that you need to add more columns, you can select the column and drag down how many columns you need. Right click and insert, just like that, and it's still included inside of this formula. So just for example purposes, see the amount change, but I've already entered everything, but just so you know that it's there. All right, so our income minus our expenses gives us what's left over, this row left over. Okay, and then it just goes down to the next week. You see it right here, week 2, down here, 227. Now we don't get paid this week. Well, not we, but they don't get paid this week, so there's nothing to go there. Okay, so they have 227 for the week, and what do they spend? They spend $75 at the grocery store. They must get gas for the car because they need to go back and forth to work. Child expenses. Now, they have a 7-year-old, that's just in my example. And so this child may need money to go out with a friend, or need money to get a shirt, and you know how schools get when they send home some fundraiser, something that you have to spend some money on. and it's never in advance, it's like the week of, or in a week or 2. So the child has something, and then they dined out, and you know, not as much as last week, but they're like, hey, we don't really have it. Let's just do something a little low key. All right, so they spent $200, and it just continues to roll over. So leftover is $27, and look at this. Week 3, they're paid again. All right, so the wife is paid. The husband is paid on the 15th, and the wife is paid on the 18th. They got a little re-up there, yeah. So that is $2,500 plus that $27 minus all of these expenses. Now these are, of course, you go back to this list here and make sure that everything here is on this list here. Okay, and the same thing. You know, they have gym, they're going to get their workout in. It just continues to go down. So I included 5 weeks here for that month that you may get paid 3 times in 1 month, which in that case, you should be having a lot more money to save. Okay, so it's all about planning. It's very, very important. And I have created this here Excel sheet for you to be able to do so. So let's go right back here. So they have $5,000 to budget for the month, and we budget every single dollar. Needs a plan. It needs to go somewhere. Okay? And what I like to incorporate, I wanted to highlight before we move along, I have a miscellaneous category in here. This is for things that may pop up that you may not be, think to even plan for. So it goes into miscellaneous. So let's just say you go somewhere and you need to pay for parking. You need to randomly, help somebody with something. That's what miscellaneous is for. A little miscellaneous things that may come up. You need to go and get something urgently and it just doesn't fall, in any of the other categories that you have or have planned for. So it just stays there, and most times it goes unused. Sometimes you do use it. You're like, oh, I am so glad that I put that in there. So it doesn't dip into any other things and completely take you off your budget. So student loans are in here. Man, I remember those student loan days. Another important thing, gifts and special occasions. Most times we know when our brother or our aunt, mother, friend birthday is coming up. Plan for those things. Okay, what type of gift would I like to get for my friend or for my mom? And how much would that cost? How much can I afford? Right? Because sometimes we can just go to the store, oh, they would really love that, and just pick it up, and it does not fall within the budget. Okay? Just think about how many times we do that, not only with gifts, but things for ourselves, things like food, So let's plan it out. All right, so now that we have everything all planned out, let me go back here and show you exactly how you can now just duplicate this going into the next month, and you can just continue to do this over and over and over again. And then all you have to do is just update the numbers. That's it. That's it. Or you can add or adjust or shift things. Okay, so I right click, move and copy, and we're going to make sure we're going to copy that. It's the one that we, so create a copy, move to the end, boom. This is the exact thing as what we just had here. So I'm going to rename it, and this can, since that was July, this is going to be August. Okay, and then I can just name this, right click. All right, now that concludes our tutorial for today for the Paycheck to Paycheck weekly budget Excel sheet. I had such a great time showing it to you all. Please do visit my website, which is www.square1, that's the number 1, accounting.com. Under resources, there are an abundance of free Excel sheets, printables, all that good stuff on to help you to reach your goal of financial freedom. It's attainable and you can do it. Just go for it, and you can start right here with this budget. Again, my name is Jasmine, the Money Coach, and until next time.